Hey there, welcome to Sense Maker, a podcast where we go beyond the headlines and try to make sense of the news. And today we are going to talk about the new data that has come out from Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, as you all know, is a government's think tank. And Niti Aayog Commission has released the data of one of their survey called as Multidimensional Poverty Index. And this index basically tells us about the socio-economic situation of different states of our country. The data is striking to say the least. Although we are doing fairly well on many indicators, but at the same time, there are several other areas in which many of our Indian states have performed very badly. So let's discuss some of the results one by one for each state. Now, before going into all the statistics, first let me tell you about what were the parameters for evaluation in this survey. So, this index, this multidimensional poverty index, has been prepared by keeping three broad dimensions in mind. These dimensions were health, education, and standard of living. Now, health includes factors like nutrition, child and adolescent mortality, and antenatal care. Education includes factors like years of schooling and school attendance. And as far as the standard of living is concerned, it includes factors like cooking fuel, sanitation, availability of drinking water, electricity, housing, and asset ownership. Now let's dive into data.
So let's talk about poverty first. According to this index, the national average of poverty in our country is 25.01%. That means almost one-fourth of India's population is living at the bottom of the pyramid. Now, if we go state by state, Bihar has the highest population of poor people with around 51.91% of its population living below poverty line, and it is followed by Jharkhand with 41.16%, then Uttar Pradesh with 37.79%, and then Madhya Pradesh with 36.65% of its population living below poverty line. Almost 10 states have a poverty rate which is more than the national average. Now, the states which have performed well in this parameter are Kerala, with only 0.71% of its population living below poverty line. It is followed by Goa with only 3.76% of its population below poverty line, and then Sikkim with 3.82%, and then Tamil Nadu with only 4.89%, followed by Punjab with 5.59%.
The next data is about nutrition, and again, Bihar is the worst performer with 51.88% of its population deprived of basic nourishment. Bihar is followed by Jharkhand with 47.99% of its population deprived of basic nourishment, followed by Madhya Pradesh with 45%, Uttar Pradesh 44.47%, and then Chhattisgarh with 43.02%. Even the states like Gujarat and Haryana and Delhi, which are considered well off states, have a very high rate of nutrition deprived population. As far as maternal health is concerned, 45.62% of Bihar's population has not received any kind of maternal health in their life, followed by Uttar Pradesh with 35.45%, with Jharkhand 33.07%, Nagaland 33.06%, and in Meghalaya the number is 31.70%. And the states which have performed well in this parameter are Kerala with only 1.73% of its population deprived of any maternal health. The Goa, Tamil Nadu, Sikkim, these states have also performed well with the numbers like 7%, 6%, and 5%. Now let's see some data of the second category of this survey, which is education. And again, the usual suspects like Bihar, Meghalaya, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Rajasthan, these states have performed worse in this category as well, with 20.67% of Bihar's population did not even have a 6 years of schooling, followed by Meghalaya 19.71%, and then Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, and then Uttar Pradesh with numbers like 18.32%, 17.77%, and 17.52%. And the states which have performed well are Kerala with only 1.78% of its population deprived of schooling, followed by Himachal Pradesh with only 3.78%, then Goa with only 4.70%. States like Mizoram, Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra have also performed well in this category. If we talk about school attendance, which is essentially the dropout ratio, it is quite high in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan. 12.52% of Bihar's population is school dropout. For Uttar Pradesh, the percentage is 11.91%, and for Rajasthan, it is 8.48%. And the states which have lowest dropout ratio is Kerala with 0.54%, Himachal Pradesh with only 0.89%, and then Goa 0.96%. Many other states have also performed well, like Punjab, which has only 2.59% dropout ratio, Manipur with 2.36%, followed by Andhra, Tripura, and Telangana with percentages like 2%, 2%, and 2.10%. And the third and the last category is standard of living. And according to Niti Aayog, it is calculated on the basis of whether some basic needs are fulfilled or not.
And the first thing in this list is cooking fuel. And according to this data, more than 82.92% of Bihar's population do not have access to cooking fuel. It means all these peoples in Bihar are using other sources like wood and all for cooking their food, which is neither environmental friendly nor it is good for health. Bihar is followed by Jharkhand with 82.14% of its population deprived of cooking fuel. And surprisingly, Odisha is also doing very bad on this parameter. More than 82.94% of Odisha's population do not have access to cooking fuel. Odisha is followed by Chhattisgarh, Assam, Meghalaya, and in these states also the numbers are not very good. And the states which are doing good are Delhi with only 2.21% of its population deprived of cooking fuel, followed by Chhattisgarh, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, Goa, and Mizoram. Now, another astonishing figure is about the access to drinking water. According to this report, more than 60% of Manipur's population do not have access to pure drinking water. Manipur is followed by Meghalaya, whose 33.52% of population is deprived of pure drinking water. It is followed by Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Madhya Pradesh with numbers like 32.53%, 31.06%, and 29.93%. And surprisingly, Bihar is doing very good in this parameter with only 2.34% of Bihar's population deprived of pure drinking water. Punjab is also doing very well with only 9.3% of its population deprived of drinking water, followed by Goa, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. As far as the availability of electricity is concerned, a big part of Bihar's population, around 39.86% of population, is deprived of electricity. In Uttar Pradesh, the number is 27.43%, followed by Assam with 21.78%, followed by Jharkhand and Odisha with numbers 18.79% and 13.37% respectively. Some worth mentioning states who are doing phenomenally well when it comes to providing electricity to their citizens are Goa, with less than 1% of its population deprived of electricity, followed by Punjab, again less than 1%, Himachal Pradesh, less than 1, Sikkim, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. All these states have less than 1% of population which is deprived of electricity. The states like Karnataka, Telangana, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, they are also doing fairly well when it comes to providing electricity to their citizens. Now, there is one more interesting data about the asset ownership. And according to this report, in Nagaland, more than 33.91% of its population do not own any kind of asset. Nagaland is followed by Meghalaya with 29.88%, followed by Bihar 24.32%, and then Arunachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, and Assam with the numbers like 21.37%, 20.49%, 19.95%, and 19.31%.
So these were some big takeaways from this multidimensional poverty index. Now, what is the conclusion of this report, you may ask? Well, all these data signals that we have made enormous progress in many of the social indicators, like child mortality has come down drastically, the overall poverty rate has also come down drastically. but still there is a lot that needs to be done as far as socio-economic situation of our citizens is concerned. Particularly the Hindi heartland states have a long way to go to mitigate social inequality. This is all we had for you in this episode. We'll be back with a new topic soon. Till then, stay safe. This has been Ritik Singh signing off.